Hey there, this is Melanie Thomas with eXp Realty. Today I'm going to talk to you about whether or not it's a good time to buy. Should you wait because we're in a housing bubble? Bubbles are very rare in real estate. The reason why that happened back in 2007, 2008 was because we had bad lending practices and we had many bad loans. People basically, if you could follow the mirror, you could buy a house. It's not that way now, and so we're not going to have the same kind of crash that we did back then. So the question is it a good time to buy because prices are so high? So one of the main differences that's different in this market is that today to buy a house, you have to put a pretty substantial down payment down. You have to have skin in the game. Back when the market crashed before, people had houses with no money down. They didn't even have to prove that they had verifiable income or employment. And so when the prices got too high and the bubble came and the market crashed, it was easy for them to walk away because they didn't have any equity in the home. They said, what the heck, I'll just go ahead, take the hit on my credit. 7 years from now, I'll be able to buy another house. And that's what thousands and thousands of people did. It's not that way today. To get a mortgage today, you have to be qualified, you have to have income, you are thoroughly vetted by the lender. So again, to answer the question, should you wait? Well, the answer is, what's the alternative? So if you're renting right now, you're making a monthly payment, probably a very substantial one, that's not going towards anything that builds equity or wealth for you. So let's say you say, I'm going to wait for 1.5 years or 2 years before I buy a house because housing prices are going to come down. So think about that for a minute. Let's just say you're paying $2,000 a month rent where you are right now. So that means 12 months from now, you would have put another $24,000 into that rent, which went to your landlord. Then, if you waited a second year, that would be $48,000 that went from you to your landlord, not building any wealth, not building any equity for you. If you buy a house now, that same $48,000, and probably less for a mortgage if you were buying a house, is building equity as you pay down your mortgage loan. So you'll have an asset that is hopefully appreciating, but even if it's not, you are gaining equity in it by making your mortgage payment every month. Thus, you have an asset that is worth something, and your money is going towards something for you. So if you think about it that way, waiting to buy makes no sense. Third point, okay, if you have a mortgage, you have a fixed mortgage loan, which has a reliable payment every month that never changes for the term of that loan for 30 years for most instances. When you're renting, there's no guarantee that your payment will stay the same. So that same $2,000 payment next year might be $2,100 or $2,200 or $2,300 or whatever your landlord decides that they want to raise your rent to. So there's no stability, there's no financial stability there when it comes to renting. So honestly, I can't see why anyone would think that that's a financially beneficial decision to rent instead of buying, regardless of where the market is. Interest rates right now are still historically low in comparison to the over time in history, where they were in double digits, and that was the norm once upon a time. So if you think about it that way, you'll really understand why trying to time the market is never a smart play financially. So my best advice I could give you right now, rather than trying to time the market and waiting for prices to come down, there might be markets where prices will decrease somewhat, especially in the higher price points, as there are less buyers available when mortgage rates increase. However, here in Florida, in these warm weather, low tax states, we have approximately, it's estimated, 1,000 people moving per day to the state of Florida. Therefore, demand is going to remain high, supply is going to remain relatively low. So factoring in those things, waiting is not necessarily the best play. So even if prices go down, if interest rates go up, you're really not saving yourself any money, and you're just wasting time paying rent, like I said, that's not going towards anything that's building for you financially. So if you have any questions or need some information on what the market is like right now, what makes sense for you, what prices are like, where it's headed, where you're located here in Florida, feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is right there below. I'm always thinking outside the box for you and all my clients, so let me know if I can be of any help. Meantime, please feel free to keep visiting my blog here and learning new and interesting real estate tips for both buyers and sellers. Have a great day, everybody. Take care.